The call that wasn't for me. It was close to midnight when my phone rang. The room was quiet, the kind of silence where every creak in the house feels amplified, and I nearly jumped out of my skin when the screen lit up. Unknown number. I almost let it go to voicemail, but curiosity tugged at me. I answered, "Hello?" There was nothing at first, just a faint hiss of static. Then, after several seconds, a woman's voice whispered, "I found you." My stomach tightened. I think you have the wrong number," I said, forcing a laugh. Another pause. The breathing on the other end grew heavier, shaky, as if whoever it was stood just outside in the cold. Then the whisper came again, harsher this time. "Don't hang up." I ended the call, my thumb shaking on the screen. A prank, I told myself. Some idiot with too much time. But less than a minute later, the phone rang again. Same number. This time, I let it go to voicemail, telling myself I didn't care. My phone buzzed almost instantly with a new message. Against every instinct, I pressed play. "I can see you now." The voice was different this time, lower, masculine, almost growling. My skin crawled. I glanced around my living room. The lamp in the corner cast long shadows that seemed to move when I shifted. The curtains were drawn, but not thick enough to block out the shape of my body sitting there on the couch. Another call, same number. I declined it quickly. Seconds later, a text appeared. "Why did you move?" My throat went dry. Slowly, I turned my head toward the window. The fabric of the curtains was thin. From outside, someone could easily see me pacing, moving, hesitating. I backed away from the window, phone clutched tight in my hand. My breath came short, shallow. Another text buzzed through. "I liked you better on the couch." I nearly dropped the phone. Panic hit me hard. I darted for the light switch, plunging the room into darkness, then grabbed the heaviest object I could reach, an old metal flashlight, and crouched by the hallway, heart hammering. I dialed the police from my second phone, whispering what was happening. They told me to stay put, stay quiet, and wait. When the patrol car finally rolled up, its headlights sweeping across my yard, I felt a rush of relief, so strong I almost cried. But that relief shattered when one of the officers called me outside and pointed to the damp grass beneath my window. There, clear as day in the mud, were footprints, deep, heavy, circling the house and leading away into the trees. That night, the phone kept buzzing. Same number, same silence on the other end. I never answered again. The wrong number. I was half asleep on the couch when my phone buzzed. The glow of the TV was the only light in the room, flickering across the walls. I grabbed my phone, squinting at the screen. 2:17 a.m. The message was short. "I see you." At first, I thought it was a joke. Some drunk stranger, maybe. I typed back, "Who is this?" Almost immediately, the 3 little dots appeared. "You don't remember me?" I frowned. I checked the number, unknown. No chat history, no clue who it could be. My chest tightened a little, but I told myself it was just some idiot messing around. "Wrong number," I wrote back. The reply was instant. "No, it's the right number." Look at the window. For a second, I couldn't breathe. My head turned slowly, almost against my will. The blinds were drawn, but I could swear something moved across them. Just a faint, shifting shadow. I tried to shake it off. It could have been a branch, headlights from a passing car, anything. My hands shook as I typed, "If this is a joke, cut it out." The typing bubble appeared again. Open the blinds. My phone slipped from my fingers and landed on the couch. The buzzing started right after call from the same number. The ringtone echoed through the silence, filling every corner of the room. I didn't answer. Then I heard it. Tap, tap, tap. From the other side of the window, the sound froze me in place. I told myself it had to be my imagination, but the tapping grew louder, more deliberate, knuckles on glass. I forced myself to pick up the phone. My thumb hovered over the screen, ready to call the police. But then another text came in. Don't call anyone. I'll leave if you wave. My blood ran cold. How could they know? How could they see me? Slowly, I raised my hand and gave the smallest wave. I felt stupid, terrified, and utterly exposed. Nothing happened. No sound. No reply. I held my breath. Maybe it was over. Maybe they'd walk away, satisfied with their little prank. I was about to put the phone down when it buzzed again. Nice pajamas. I looked down. The TV was still on, casting a faint blue glow across the room. Enough light to see me. Enough light for someone outside. I bolted off the couch and killed the TV. The apartment was swallowed in darkness. I stumbled down the hall to my bedroom, locking the door behind me, clutching my phone so tight my knuckles hurt. A new message lit up the screen. You shouldn't have turned off the lights. I liked it better when I could see your face. The next sound wasn't a tap. It was the slow, unmistakable creak of my front door opening. The number that shouldn't exist. I've never liked getting phone calls late at night. Texts are one thing. Sometimes people get the wrong number. But a phone call in the middle of the night feels invasive, like someone trying to break into your world. That's why, when my phone buzzed at 2:14 a.m., my chest tightened immediately. I expected it to be an emergency. Maybe a family member, maybe a friend in trouble. It wasn't. The message was from an unknown number. I see you. At first, I laughed nervously. It had to be a prank. Someone typed the wrong digits, right? Still, I typed back, my fingers cold on the screen. Who is this? The reply came instantly, the typing bubble flashing for only a second before the words appeared. Don't you remember me? I frowned. My eyes darted to the darkened window across the room. The blinds were shut tight, but it suddenly felt like a pair of eyes pressed against them, watching me from the other side. I shook my head, told myself I was being ridiculous. I typed back, "Sorry, wrong number." For a moment there was silence. Relief washed over me and I set my phone down on the couch cushion. I tried to focus on the muted TV, but just as I started to relax, my phone buzzed again. No, it's the right number. Look at the window. My stomach dropped. Very slowly I turned my head. The blinds were drawn, but I could have sworn I saw a ripple of movement, a faint shadow shifting across them. My throat went dry. I typed with trembling hands. If this is a joke, it's not funny. Stop. The reply came instantly. Open the blinds. I sat frozen, my phone hot in my hands. The buzzing started. One call, then another, then another. The number flashing again and again across the screen. I didn't dare answer. The sound of the ringtone filled the room like an alarm, and in between each call, the silence felt louder than ever. And then, tap, tap, tap. 3 slow knocks against the glass. I shot up from the couch, my heart hammering so hard it hurt. My phone buzzed again, and when I looked down, there was a new message waiting for me. Don't run. I like watching you when you're still. I nearly dropped the phone. My apartment suddenly felt too small, too exposed. I wanted to call the police, but my brain felt scrambled, panicked. I typed with shaking fingers. "Who are you? What do you want?" The reply, "I want you to wave." I stared at those words, bile rising in my throat. My body moved on its own, my hand lifting in the faint glow of the TV. I gave the smallest wave, barely more than a twitch of my fingers. Nothing happened. The silence stretched on. I thought maybe they'd finally leave, until another message appeared. "Nice shirt. Blue looks good on you." My blood turned to ice. I looked down. I was wearing a blue t-shirt. How could they see me? The blinds were shut, the door locked. I lunged for the TV remote and killed the power. Darkness swallowed the room. My chest heaved as I stumbled backward, my phone vibrating in my hand. A new message appeared on the glowing screen. "You shouldn't have turned the lights off." I liked seeing your face. That's when I heard it. Not tapping this time, not glass, but the slow, deliberate sound of my front door creaking open. I froze in the middle of the room, unable to move, my phone buzzing again in my hand. I didn't want to look, but I did. The final message had already appeared. "I told you it was the right number. I'm inside.